Hi at home. Today we are going to be working on strengthening our back, which is super important, especially as we begin to age. So we're going to begin with a standing bar series with weights. You can also just omit them if you need to modify. We will then move to the bar and then we will end on the mat. So let's get to it. All right, so we are going to begin in a second position. So you're gonna take your feet wider than your hips, turn your toes out, and grabbing weights, if you are using them today, reminder, you can do this without as well. So we're gonna take our arms out. This is our rounded second position. And first we'll just begin with a plie. So you're gonna bend through the knees and then extend. So you're pressing into the heels, squeezing into the glutes at the top. And I just want to take a moment to talk about our spine since we're working on the back today. So when we're doing this plie, some people think they need to tuck their pelvis in to get that flat back, but really I just want you to keep a neutral spine. So just shoulders over hips, you're not sticking the booty out, you're not tucking that pelvis forward, it's just how your spine naturally is. That will help us keep everything nice and healthy, building the muscles around the natural curvature of our spine. Okay, now we're gonna add on. So now you're gonna take your arms out, you're gonna reach the left arm towards the right arm goes like it's crossing around your midline like a seatbelt, and then you come back up. So that's nice and slow. Let's do 3 more here, slow. We go reach and up. So it's getting a nice side stretch for the side of our body. Let's go a little faster now, 8 more. So we reach and up, reaching as we bend, thinking nice and long. Reaching through those fingertips. I even stretch my fingertips out over the weights, as you can see, to really get that length. 2 and 1. Good, now we're gonna go to the left, so we'll go slow for 4 times again. Reach, getting that movement in our body. Even on those feet. 2 more. Keep breathing. Now a little faster for 8. And out. Plie. So when you plie, you're bending down in the center. You're not leaning over one foot more than the other. We go 4. 3. 2 more. And 1. Okay, now we're gonna go into parallel. So let's just transition this. Bring your toes forward, heels in, toes forward, heels in, until we're in parallel where those feet are touching, ankles are touching. So now we're gonna go into a ski slope position. So you're gonna bend the knees like you're going into a squat. Tailbone is sticking out. Now we're just keeping it, again, nice and neutral through the spine. Take your arms down, then your right arm is gonna come up, bicep is about in line with the ear. Your left arm you want to go above your back. So this palm is facing up, this palm is facing down. Then we're gonna go for 3 pulses, nice long arms. You go for 3, 2, just gaze in front of you on the floor. Then we bring our arms out to a T. We switch. Now that left arm is up, palm down. That back arm, the palm is up and it's above your back. We go 3, 2, 1, open out. And then again, 3, 2, 1, open out. 3, 2, 1. We're going a little faster now. If your weights are too heavy, just go ahead and drop them. So this is really important to keep your spine nice and long as you do this. Don't go through a roundness or a big arch. We're gonna do a few more. It's getting into my shoulders. We do 2. Great, last one. And bring it down. You can see my right shoulder is a little weaker, so it was wimping out at the end. Okay, so now we're gonna drop the weights. We're gonna move to our bar, whatever that is. I'm using a wall today, maybe you're using a chair. So we're gonna begin heels together, toes apart, first position. Find your plie. Now we're gonna keep our hips straight forward. Don't open up that outside hip as you extend your right leg back. Scoop the abs in nice and long through the spine, and then just keeping everything the same way as it was through this pelvis and the hips. You just lift the leg, tap. So this is getting a little strength in that glute, but we're still keeping it neutral. So I don't want you to go into a huge arch of the back to get that leg up. That's not the point. Now hold the leg up here and we pulse. Lift, lift, lift. Keep lifting. Don't collapse through that chest. One more rep here of the pulse. 3, 2, 1. Now we're just going to flex the foot. We do 2 more rounds. Lift, lift. So it's all coming from that glute muscle and lengthening. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now from here, bring this back in. We're going to turn parallel. We're going to go into a lunge and a kick. So now we're going to kind of open up everything. We were going into the back part. Now we're going to go into the front part, opening up through that hip flexor. So you go down. There's a nice little stretch for the hip flexor. Make sure your front knee is in line with the ankle. It's not going past. And then you're going to kick it up and down and kick. So every time you go into that lunge, make sure you get into that good placement, right? So you are getting that knee low and the front knee is in line with the ankle. And then just be loose when you kick it forward. We go for 8 more. 7. Gets our heart rate up a little. Point those toes just so we keep it pretty. 3. Engage the lower abs as you kick this up. 2. And 1, and then I want you to hold it down for a little stretch at the end. So hold the lunge, that outside arm goes up, and you just take this little side reach into that bar. 1 more breath, maybe get a little lower in the lunge, and out. Okay, now we're gonna switch to the opposite side. So go ahead and turn around or turn your screen. Okay, so one more time, we're gonna go back first to the turned out position, first position. So heels together, toes apart. Find your plie. Now you can really see shoulders over hips. You're not overarching, not over tucking. It's neutral, whatever the natural curvature is of that spine. Take your outside leg back, keep the hips straight forward, and then we lift lower. So we're not trying to make the goal, how high can I get my leg? It's just engaging into that glute. Super simple. 2, 1, hold it up, pulse. And feel like a string is pulling you from the crown of the head. So you're staying nice and tall through the spine. We go for 8 more. There's a little bend on that standing knee still. And then we're gonna flex a foot, lift, lift. Good. And think it's more up than down. So barely releasing. 3, 2, 1. Return it back in. We go into the parallel stance now, so toes straight forward. We're gonna go into that lunge. I'm gonna move a little forward so I don't step on the rocks. We go down and then we kick. We'll do a few slow so we can make sure we find where we need to be, where we have that knee in line with the ankle, not past it. A little faster, down and kick. Keeping those hips square forward, being loose and enjoying that little stretch through the hip flexor as you go. Okay, we just got a few more. We go 3, 2, 1. Hold it down in that lunge and we take our stretch again. So outside arm goes up overhead, maybe come a little deeper in the lunge, and then we just stretch into that bar. Keep that chest square. Maybe look up towards the sky. 1 more deep breath. Exhale out. Good. All right. Now we're going to continue with some traditional Pilates mat exercises on the mat. So let's make our way down there on our belly today. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is Pilates flight. So feet are going to be hip distance. Tops of the toes are down on the mat. Your face is just gonna hover. Now we're gonna think of first neutralizing that spine again. We don't wanna overarch, which is what we tend to do when we come onto our belly. So just think of pulling the belly button into the spine, little tilt of the pelvis, and then you neutralize it out again. Then you're gonna reach your fingertips like they're trying to reach towards the heels. You're gonna inhale to prepare. Exhale, you're just gonna slide those fingers down towards your heels so the shoulders slide down. And then you bring it back. So it's a really small movement. Exhale, inhale. So you're not trying to arch through the back. It's just going towards that foot direction. I'm great with words today. Let's go for 4 more. And 3, 2, 1. Now you're just going to hold it here, kind of like the Pilates 100. You're going to flip your palms down. You're just going to begin to pump. Keep those abs in. So you inhale in, exhale out. But you're keeping those abs in, so let that breath just come from the rib cage, expanding and then contracting. Let's do 1 more round. Inhale. Exhale. All right, now we're going to go for Pilates swimming. So legs will stay as is. You extend your arms forward, palms facing down, and then you're going to lift your left leg, right arm. And then you switch left arm, right leg, and then you go and go. So first, maybe go slow. Keep the abs pulled in, so we're still in that neutral spine. Moving from the shoulders, glutes, hamstrings. So you keep the legs straight. You don't want to bend the knees at all. And then begin to take this a little faster if you can. We go for 8, 7. Ooh, and you start to lose opposite arm and leg, and you start to do both. So if that happens, like I just did, pause. It's only natural. 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. It's so good for the back. Okay, so now we're going to do a little stretch to release. So a child's pose. So you'll just come up, take your seat back to your heels, and stretch through that back. Feels really great on the lower back. If you can, get your forehead all the way down to the mat. Stretch your arms forward. Knees are a little wider than your hips. Big toes touching. 1 more deep breath. Exhale out. Great. Okay, and then our last thing we're going to do is our double leg kick. So we're going to go straight into double leg. So your feet will again be hip distance. Take your hands behind your back, interlace them, and then you're just going to drop the ear on the mat where you can see me. Hi. And then we're going to take our legs in. So you're going to kick first with the heels flexed. Then you point. Then as you extend the legs, squeeze into the booty, squeeze into the shoulders, reach back, lift up. And you're just, again, you're not going like this, like a Pez dispenser. So you're just here, looking down on that mat. And then you look away from me for a moment. You got this. You take the feet in, you flex the feet, then kick with pointed toes, and then lift. And we go for a few more. Flex, point, lift, and flex, point, lift. Squeeze into the glutes when you do the lift, into the shoulders. We're going to go for a few more. You can move a little faster or slower than me if you need to. In, point, stretch. 2 more, 1 on each side, and 1. Excellent. Okay, let's just do a little mini cobra or modified swan since we're going Pilates. So if you can only be here today with the bent elbows, that's fine. Maybe come here. Lower down. And let's do 1 more child's pose because that always feels so good for the back. So you can bring the legs parallel if you prefer, but otherwise I always enjoy knees wide. 1 more deep breath. Exhale, release. All right. Well done, everyone. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this class, if you want to help support the channel, you can like the video, you can subscribe to our channel. It's free and it helps us grow on YouTube. And if you want longer classes, you can join us on Patreon. It helps support us and helps us to make more of these videos. See you back here next time.